What's going on, everybody? This is Jay Leno. I am here with Miss Pinky for yet another stream and reaction. How you doing today, Miss Pinky?
I am great, and I am not upset that they lost. Got swept.
Damn, she getting straight to it this morning's. Man, the Pacers. You know what? They were in every single game practically in this series, man. Like, so all right, so going, how did you feel going into the Boston this series itself, Miss Pinky?
I when they first started, I kind of knew that they were going to lose. Boston is a good team. Pacers don't know how to play defense. I don't even think they know the definition of defense. Great game, great shooters, but with offense, you need defense. Period.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what? They didn't play defense all year long. They pretty much out tried to outscore other teams, and they get stops here and there. But I think that one of the biggest things that defensively, if you're going to try and take a break on defense, you could compensate for it with like defensive rotations and such. But like there's some of these matchup moves and strategies that they used on defense were just piss poor.
Yeah,
But I think the Halliburton going out didn't help them at all.
yeah, at
We're
all.
we're talking about the actual premier 3-point threat that the Pacers have. They have guys that can knock down the three, but he is their best 3-point scorer. So like,
And
and
I
then
think
go ahead.
they didn't have no fight. Like you could tell that they didn't. If you got fighting you, you're going to keep attacking that basket. It wasn't no fight. Boston knew that they were going to win that game going into that game. Period, and they
Mm,
might win that whole thing for
mm,
real. That's what I think. I think they might win the whole thing, and
yeah,
then after that, Alford can retire knowing that he has a ring under his belt because he has zip zap zuda zip zap.
they didn't really have an answer for a lot that was thrown at them. Shout out to TJ McConnell for playing his freaking heart out for the Pacers this
Oh yeah, yeah,
series.
yeah. He did good. He did good.
Like,
Oh, and shout out to Jason Tatum. Yes, he played his heart out as well.
here you go. Here you go. St. Louis
Woo.
Midwest itself. But you know what, guys? I'm gonna keep it a buck once again. Um, let me see what hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck once again. The Celtics have the best record in the NBA for a reason. So, this is just me being biased of the Pacers who had the easiest run to get to the Eastern Conference Finals since
Mm.
the Toronto Raptors made it to the finals. The Milwaukee Bucks were completely depleted. Giannis, Damian Lillard being out. Then they run into the Knicks, who ran into Jalen Brunson being eventually becoming hurt. And they also have an injured Julius Randle on their roster as well. This is about as good as it's going to get for the Pacers to be in a fight to get to the finals. But Boston's supposed to win this series, guys. Let's just keep it a buck. But the fight was there.
Yeah.
They were fighting almost every single game, and they just couldn't close it out. There were even games to where freaking Jason Tatum had only scored like 4 or 6 points in the first half. So I don't know. You might be correct. In fact, Quee, that maybe Boston was playing with the Pacers, but I wouldn't think that that would really be the case. But a sweep is a sweep, isn't
Yeah.
it?
That was just downright ridiculous.
But
Y'all
this,
couldn't even win at home. They play the best at home.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They didn't even take care of home,
They,
and
they gave away game
game one, they game
two,
one.
3, and 4.
But you know what? Game one was supposed to go to the Pacers, and they didn't close that game out, so we wouldn't necessarily be in this predicament moving forward in this scenario. But you know what, Pacers. Well, I'm not going to take too much time just completely shitting on the Pacers organization for how young that they are and how we hosted here in Indiana the NBA All Star Game. Um, guys, the Pacers need another scoring threat on their roster. How do you feel about that, Miss Pinky?
What they need is defense. They got the offense all day. They have the offense all day. It's the defense that killed them. That's what I think.
Yeah. And I mean, I will say that there's an at least an attempt, but like it's okay. So Halliburton's gonna he prioritizes offense, but at the same time, if Halliburton was in the game, you know what? How much of a defensively it could have hurt him a bit. And Jalen Brown and Tatum are streaky, like rhythmic players, and so if you're able to stretch the series, you might give out an opportunity for them to have an off night, which could have help lead to a possible win. But you know what? They got swept and it is over.
Who you think gonna win out of Timberwolves and Dallas?
I'm going to go with Dallas.
I think Timberwolves gonna win.
And well, you know, for the first time in NBA history, we're possibly going to be looking at two teams to possibly be swept in each conference finals
Who you
because
think?
because
Who you think gonna win the
because
whole East, though?
Dallas is up 3-0 right now
Yeah,
on the
I think.
Timberwolves.
Yeah, I think Timberwolves gonna come back.
But I mean, I don't think they're going to come back and win. Nor in NBA history has a team came back three from being down 3-0 to win a series. It's never happened. But just to be quite frank, I think Dallas. I think the Timberwolves are being outcoached. I think the coach hasn't been able to make enough adjustments in comparison to the playoff experience of the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks with Jason Kidd. But we're going to go back to the Pacers real quick and and try and find a solution to this team. And I think the Pacers are missing a closer, another scorer. They've got the role players help carry them and keep them in the game, but they need another closer. And my top candidate for the Indiana Pacers to solve this issue is upcoming free agent and also the Pelicans are trying to move forward from the boy Brandon Ingram, who's basically a combination of KD and Kobe Bryant, my favorite player in the NBA.
Brandon Ingram.
Brandon the Ingram, and he smokes of the ganja, and he was drafted by the Lakers, but Bronny got rid of him. But
You said
just
you got
just
rid of
getting,
him.
yeah, LeBron did for Anthony Davis. But look, Brandon Ingram plays defense, closes out. He's about 6'10", lengthy on the court. He's a playmaker as well. Shoots the midi, shoots the three good as well.
He about to be a free agent.
Yeah. The Pelicans are trying to move forward from him. They don't really want to pay him that money because that money's due to him. Oh, I gotta turn this volume off. They're trying to get me. But yeah, this will be a direct answer for the Indiana Pacers. He's athletic, lengthy.
What you mean? They trying to get you?
Oh, because I had the audio going and I just didn't want to put up any. I didn't want to deal with any copyright claims and etc.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I had to turn the volume down. That's why I paused this because I need all these videos to turn over into monetization. But I think Brent, that'll be a smooth transition over for the roster. I think they'll still be able to keep Siakam, whose contract's up. I don't think there's going to be too many front runners that'll go after Siakam. Not saying he's not a good player, but Indiana be a perfect fit to sustain Siakam on the roster, and then Brandon Ingram. There's nobody else really under that much of a max contract over there with the Pacers because I mean, it's Halliburton's getting paid. Um, uh, Turner is getting some money, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Turner's contract is rather short term and could end soon. So they could structure a contract to put basically they can give Brandon Ingram a max deal. It might be one of those low. Pacers could possibly do like a short term 3+1 3 with a player option type of signing. Maybe 180 mil, close to the $200 million range for Brandon Ingram, and I think he's also a all-star player as well. I
Yeah.
I think he'd be a perfect fit for the Pacers. I would almost be willing to trade some of the role players for the Pelicans because I don't think he's immediately a free agent. I think he's going to be put on the market. It might be the next season after. But the Pelicans haven't shown interest to re-signing him. They're going to move on and keep Murphy on their roster. So, I'd almost trade Mathurin for Brandon Ingram, who was injured this year, that wasn't able to play for the Pacers, a young player that they could profit, that both teams could benefit from if they wanted to do a sign and deal trade with Brandon Ingram. But yeah, this is the answer, guys. And really, Brandon Ingram can be an answer to a lot of these teams' rosters. He's a killer. Those closing moments going into the fourth. Look, he's a playmaker, good passer. You know how the Pacers like to spread the floor. He's willing to fight on defense. He holds himself accountable. He works with his teammates. That little bit, and this would also help the Pacers become a more of a lanky team. Can you imagine if you have Siakam and Brandon Ingram sharing the 3 and 4 position for the Pacers? And then Miles Turner at center who could knock down the shot. I think this will be a perfect situation for the Pacers if they're able to grab Brandon Ingram. Other than that, this might be, I don't know. The Pacers might be able to get back into the playoffs again, but it's tough to see them get swept. Anything you like
It is.
to, yeah, yeah. It was definitely disappointing holiday weekend to see the Pacers get dropped. They could at least win one though, right, Pinky?
Exactly. And it's Miss Pinky.
Miss Pinky, you're
Thank you.
right. You're right, Miss Pinky.
You already know how I feel about that.
Hmm. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Here you go.
Yeah,
It's Miss Pinky.
but I am at peace with it because I knew they was gonna lose. I was like, oh, these dudes
Mm.
ain't playing defense. Boston is not. Uh, Boston was not laying down like that.
Mm.
Period. They was not laying down. Y'all don't want to play defense. Guess what? Y'all about to lose this one, and this one, and the next one, and the next one. Sweat. Boom, like that.
But at the same time, I just they were able to get this far without playing that much defense itself. But I mean, the consensus at the barbershop would they all agree with you, Kui. I think Indiana itself felt as though that the Pacers are going to have to play some defense if they're going to win a championship. But they were able to get by, and everybody kept getting hurt against the Pacers. So, you know, that's that's just the rough part of the situation. We're about to close this out. Let me know if there's any other signings that you would like to see the Pacers move forward with to help their roster going into the 24-25 season. Anything else you want to include, Miss Pinky, before I close this out?
They need a defensive player, and that's it, and that's all.
Okay. All
So
right.
they got to play defense.
And there you have it.
Period. Y'all don't play defense, y'all ain't gonna win that ring. Period. But I guarantee you,
So
Indiana Fever will play
special.
some defense.